This is one of the most insane things to happen in wine, in non alcoholic wine, in de alcoholized wine. This is a 20-year aged Blaufränkisch, Merlot, and Pinot Noir from Austria. This was done by Zeronimo. That is the Heribert Bayer Winery in Neckenmarkt, Austria, that made the Leonis Blend, which has been by far the most amazing non alcoholic red wine in the world. That was why I got involved. I'd been searching for it for 5 years. And when the Zeronimo came to me, I was like, it has been found. The elusive non alcoholic red wine has been found. And then, about a year later, they have pallets of wine sitting in their warehouse, temperature controlled, for over 20 years. And they had a pallet of this blend sitting there. They uncorked all of them by hand, put them into German de-alcoholization machines, which is super important, used new aroma recapture technology, also very important, and definitely never added grape juice concentrate, a common ingredient that makes your wine smell like grape juice. Everything that Zeronimo is doing is way leveling up non-alcoholic wine. We know most non-alcoholic wines are not great. Some of them can be pretty amazing, especially the sparklings, the whites, and the rosés. They're a lot easier. But anybody who's ever tried to find, buy, sip non-alcoholic red wine has absolutely been disappointed, right? Leave the comments below if you know what I'm talking about, because I get to talk to people every day about non-alcoholic wine and beer and spirits and cocktails. But this is a $96 bottle that there is only 86 bottles left in the country right now. We could be having another shipment. You'll get notice about that. Reach out to the wait list and the sign up list, because this is going to be written about. Now, let me tell you what it tastes like. The Zeronimo Cenutry Blend is one of the most difficult things I've ever tried to describe. There's something that happens when you age something for 20 years. And one of the first things you notice with extended aged wines like that is they have like this rust color to them. This has that. The notes are like when you age something, it's almost like there's this shriveled up prune thing because it's been concentrated down. And then there's tertiary aromas, which are like secondary aromas, and those will happen when things have been aging for a long time. And like tannins have done their thing. This thing has 2 years of new French oak in it. Those also get integrated in those. And what they learned after they de-alcoholized it was those aromas actually don't get lost in the de-alcoholization process. So this blend that was already full-bodied and dry and integrated oak and old world funk, this coming from Austria, also has like this, it's almost like it's caramelized. They say nougat, eucalyptus. There's a little barnyard forest floor. There's this really really dark cherry. It's like it's a sweet dark cherry, but it's definitely not a sweet wine. The things that happen over 20 years is so hard to describe. This is something that is a special occasion wine. It's especially for those that have sought out and tried and gotten into wines that are 20 years and older. There's no off flavors. They absolutely nailed it on their de-alcoholization process, which was not easy. They uncorked every bottle and was like slowly putting this whole pallet full of bottles, and they numbered every one of the bottles on the front of the label. That is just a gorgeous label, and you can see that there's a number right there. Zeronimo has done something unprecedented, a world's first. And there's so many people that grew up with wine and absolutely fell in love with wine. Pairing wine with food is something that is a part of my soul. And I know I do not want alcohol in my life. I had it for a long time. I stopped about 5 years ago. 2.5 years later, I brought it back into my life. And I did that for about 2 years. And then I don't drink anymore. I love that. This is easy for me to not drink. It's very easy for me to know why I don't want drinking alcohol in my life as well. But God, do I want to drink red wine and pair it with a meal on date night. That was one of my things. And that's where this comes in. I get to share other Zeronimo wines like the Leonis Blend with folks, with 12 different sommeliers, I counted them up, with restaurant owners, and we get to share it. And whenever I meet a sober sommelier, there's been a couple sober business owners as well, like in the food and beverage space, it gets emotional for us. There's something about wine that does that, and you can have that again. So a $96 price point, I understand, isn't going to be approachable for everybody. I fully understand that. I lived as a bartender paycheck to paycheck my entire life. But if you can still pay rent and drink this bottle and have a special moment, it's something else. And I feel so much more like this is something to share with the world than it is like, oh yeah, I brought this wine into the U.S. from Austria, and we got to make a return on investment on that. We got to see how many of these we can sell. It's just, revenue. It's important to keep going. Yeah, right. It is. It is important to have revenue to keep going. That is not my number one motivation. I'm here to be like, this exists, and that's what I feel like I'm on this world to do, is to let people know what is freaking amazing. So stay tuned. We're going to review lots of beverages. We're going to be talking about this whole thing. And find me out there. There'll be links in the description. Leave some comments. Tell me what you're thinking and what you think. And the comment section, they're always filled with people that are like, oh yeah, no, I'll just pass on a $96 grape juice. And I totally understand. Non-alcoholic wine has never been a part of anybody's experience, really, unless they got it. They say they were pregnant, they go to a liquor store and they got some sweet grape juicy thing that just was not really resembling wine. And no, it's not grape juice. You have to make the wine first. It's very, very important, because the difference between the taste of grape juice and the taste of wine, I think we all know the difference. Yeah, it has to be fermented. You just have to remove the alcohol after that. And then you go find yourself a special occasion and pop open a bottle and enjoy. Besides the Cenutry Blend, the Leonis Blend that I mentioned is unbelievable. It's old world funk as well, and 2 years of new French oak. I've got a 2021 and a 2022 vintage of that blend. The small bottle is $38 for that Leonis Blend. You can find it at zeronimowine.com. And the tall bottle is a $69 bottle of non-alcoholic red wine. It started as a 98-point wine, that Leonis Blend did. And we sell double the amount of that expensive bottle than the other 4 expressions. And it's people that are just like, I don't want to drink the alcohol. I want an amazing glass of wine. This exists. If you know somebody that's been looking for this, if you know a restaurant or bar or a Michelin-starred restaurant that needs this, please reach out. I got you guys. I'm here for you.